There are a lot of tools you can have as a filmmaker, but there are a few of them that I would really recommend that you have. So here are 3 tools that you should have as a filmmaker that are not extremely expensive that I use almost every day. We'll just hop straight into it and go into these 3. Now these are not my top 3, I wouldn't say, but these are 3 that I know of that I use all of the time that are very useful and not thousands of dollars. So number 1 is little LED light panels. So you can get them very small, you can get them very big, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're still pretty cheap big, you're talking a few $100s. Little ones like this, we're talking $20 to $80 per, depending on the quality and brand that you get. But these are a game changer. I mean, I could literally just turn this one on. I could put it behind me just to give myself a little bit of backlight. You know, I could backlight the, area behind me. I could hang it up here and, get my hair light. They're very useful for a lot of factors. I mean, I even have one right over here that you can kind of almost see. You can see the light here. It's just facing the wall to add a little bit of fill because this light over here is so bright. So these little lights come in handy. This one is an RGB light, so it can be many different colors. And so is this one over here. So, I mean, it's really nice to have in your pocket because this literally fits in your pocket. I mean, it's smaller than a phone. It's a little bit thicker. It's, as thick as old phones are, but it's a solid piece of gear to have in your inventory, no matter the size you get, but smaller the better because they come in handy for a lot of stuff. You can even attach it to the top of your camera. I mean, it's super versatile. So that's number 1. It's come in handy quite a lot for weddings. This is my next one. So we're gonna ignore the bottom half of this, but this is a friction clamp. It's supposed to have an arm with it as well. I mean, I've got arms all over here holding a bunch of different stuff, so I can't show you the full arm. So what this is on one end there's a clamp. So I can like clamp it to a bar up here. I can clamp it to my desk if I wanted to. You could clamp it realistically wherever you needed to clamp something down. And then coming out of that clamp is an arm. And basically what that will do is it allows you to maneuver objects. You could even like put an action cam or a microphone, which I'm using here, a light. You can put things in versatile places that you otherwise don't have like a tripod or a light stand for, that makes it so you can kind of do whatever you need. And it doesn't even have to be a piece of gear or a camera. You could attach a blanket to it for like a fill light or whatever it may be. There's so many uses for friction arms. I, on my friction arm, put a ball head on and then I attach it up here for a overhead view. So it's a really versatile way to get different shots for your cameras. It's a good way to get different angles for your lights or to hold something up. I mean, there's a lot of different options you've got. The last thing here is some sort of small action camera. The reason I still think this is an inexpensive tool is because you can generally get a used one or even a new one for $400 or less. You could do a 360 camera, you could do an action camera, you could do a GoPro. I've got the Insta360 Go because it's really small and versatile. You can magnetize it to your chest. And these go for about 400 bucks. And then you could get a 360 cam used on Facebook Marketplace. You could get the older version of this used for a couple $100. And it's a very inexpensive tool to have. I use this at almost every single shoot ever. Whether I use this for a second camera angle or I use it for BTS footage or I use it for literally anything, these are so versatile to have, and especially a 360 cam, that I literally would never go without this to a shoot. Same with my 360 cam. So having an action cam, although may not be like the most spectacular quality of video you've ever seen in your life, it can save your butt, first of all, if your other camera stops working, or it's just a really good way to have a cut angle or a really short angle to have if you need to cut to a different angle from a shoot you did. Now, I wouldn't use this on like a $50,000 shoot because you're gonna have plenty of cameras, but for like a run and gun wedding or an elopement or commercial work where you just need a secondary angle, or since this is so small and magnetized, you could just put it wherever you need to and get like a really unique shot. I've like attached this to like a guitar before when a band was shooting stuff and got some really cool shots that way. So that's my recommendation for what I think 3 items that you should have in your kit are that are very versatile and beneficial to have to elevate your video game or photo game. So that's really it for this video today, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.